The wind howls between the stone towers of Ravenshade, carrying a whisper that tightens my chest, my own name. Every footstep echoes on the muddy street, and the veiled moonlight makes the outlines seem alive. My boots sink into the frigid muck, the axe Darren forged weighs on my shoulder like a promise of war. High above, where a torch sways on its bracket, I catch a glinting gaze, eyes that belong to no man. A chill runs down my spine. Why do I feel the night calling me, and I, the hunter, am the prey? It's past midnight and fog settles over the slate roofs, softening the edges of the rough walls. I stand alone before Kara's smithy, tuning the silver blade that's protected me since childhood. Ravenshade is a forgotten village nestled among jagged peaks, its forests harboring long-buried secrets. At 13, I learned to hunt, fish, and forge, simple tasks that keep our people alive. But tonight, something graver thrums in the air, a silent warning that we are no longer invisible. Darren, my mentor and father in all but blood, brought me here before dawn to reinforce the thorn fences. Kara, the apprentice blacksmith, appears at my side with a tight smile, though I notice the tension in her wrist. Our bond was forged in training afternoons and laughter around the campfire, but tonight everything feels poised to change. In each of our eyes lies the same question: how will we protect our home when fear materializes at the gates? A thunderous crack rings out from beyond the palisade. An ancient tree splits in two, flinging shards of wood and sparks of old runes, marks Talia always warned were taboo. I sprint to the gate, where a dying messenger collapses under the weight of a cloak soaked in black mist. His armor is cold as marble, and dark fluid seeps from his chest. He lifts a frantic gaze, pupils wide with panic, and gasps between wheezes. They return through the shadows. Valerian, the word detonates in my mind, igniting memories I never knew I carried. Darren comes charging, runeaxe in hand, willing to sacrifice anything to keep him alive. "Speak clearly," he bellows, but the messenger exhales one last trembling breath and goes limp. Kara wraps him in a tattered blanket, her icy fingers checking for a pulse. Terror blooms in us like a poisonous fungus. If Valerian has returned, legends of power and betrayal walk hand in hand. The torch flames flicker, casting dancing shadows that twist into shapes of writhing wolves. My blood boils with urgency. Without hesitation, I lift the axe and press forward. I must uncover what lurks in the dark before the Valerian legacy consumes our world. I push down the narrow lane, axe raised, Kara at my flank conjuring a beam of watery light. Suddenly, the ground trembles beneath our feet. A roar shudders through the houses, so close that the vibration makes the torches crackle. A shadowy beast emerges, its fur matted in decayed mist. I hoist the axe and sprint, and then the earth quakes, opening a fissure of black energy right under my feet.
Quick tip to level up your experience. Read Manhwas and light novels for free. Listen to epic audiobooks. Watch unlimited anime. Play cloud games with no console. And stream the best anime soundtracks. Check the description now and grab your free trials.
I slash across the glowing rift in one swift blow. The axe hums and emits a silvery flash that slices through the haze. The creature recoils, releasing a soul-rending howl, then dissolves into shimmering particles that drift on the cold wind. Kara unleashes a liquid torrent that seals the chasm, halting the shadow tide. In that instant, a surge of awe floods me. I feel the echo of an ancient power, as though I've summoned something far beyond my control. Talia appears behind Darren, clutching a leather-bound tome dyed royal purple. Its cracked pages reveal illustrations of crests identical to the one now pulsing in my veins. "This is the Valerian seal," she says, voice trembling. "Guardians of light and chaos, forgotten for centuries." A shaft of light glints on my fingertips as I touch my reliquary, a broken chain bearing a medallion stamped with that same crest. The central stone vibrates in a haunting purple that makes even Darren's runic axe flare. Still panting, Kara wipes her hammer on nervous hands. This explains the shadows, but it puts everything at risk. The villagers, huddled in the square, shrink back in reverent fear. The weight of responsibility crushes my chest. I am not just a humble hunter, I am heir to a legacy that can save or damn the world. Abruptly, the medallion flares brightly, projecting ethereal symbols into the air that form a doorway beside the palisade. Its glow calls to me like a magnet, and I realize every eye is fixed in the same direction, hungry for hope or ruin. With trembling hands, I lift the reliquary and sense the crest imprinting itself on my flesh in silver filigree. A snap echoes through my bones. Fear dissolves into unwavering conviction that I belong to something greater. Talia, tears in her eyes, reveals, Darren swore an oath. He was guard to a Valerian heir. He bound me to the promise of protecting that heir until my last breath. I feel Darren's gaze weigh on me, guilt, relief, and absolute loyalty. I learn that Ravenshade's walls were built not only to keep wolves out, but to hide the birth of the last Valerian descendant. My heart pounds as I realize every sacrifice of the past years, each vigil and every training, was preparation for this moment. The air around us trembles as if honoring the rebirth of a forbidden power. The village holds its breath, ready to witness the awakening of a forgotten legend. And I, in my headstrong youth, will be the catalyst of both glory and catastrophe. We must seal that fissure before it draws more terrors. I command, voice steady. Plan. Kara will forge containment runes on barrels of sacred oil, which will pour into the rift and ignite with rune arrows. Darren will erect extra palisades carved with the ancient tome's inscriptions. Talia will lead chants to bind the portal, while I use the reliquary as a key to align the runes. At first light, we advance to the clearing where the rift still oozes shadows. Each step rings like a war bell. Kara places enchanted lanterns, Darren sets oil traps, and I recite the chant Talia taught me. The runes flare into blue flames, forming a ring of light around the fissure. My blood drums in my ears, now or never. Yet the lower arc of the seal still glows black, weakness that, if exploited, will consume Ravenshade from within. The final snap reverberates as Kara's last flame strikes the ground. A burst of pale blue sparks darts into the air like terrified fireflies. The rift groans, tearing the earth with a guttural roar, spewing tendrils of writhing shadow, dark claws reaching for flesh and bone. Darren lunges, his rune axe crackling, and smites a wraith of smoke with a steel strike that emits a chilling blue cry. Kara wields her hammer, channeling molten fire that melts the darkness like acid-tinged silver. I charge to the center, reliquary held high, its pulse sinking with a chant echoing in my throat. The runes on Darren's axe ignite, and I feel energy surge from the reliquary into the metal and through my veins. The world narrows to a frenzied drumbeat, shadows coil like rabid serpents, straining against the ring of light. A pack of hybrid beasts, skeletal-armed wolves, pounce on Darren. He parries, steel and rune clashing, shredding their shadowy flesh. I hurl the reliquary forward. A concentric wave of light tears through the air, shredding the black veil into twinkling shards. In slow motion, a larger shadow rises, a spectral knight in shattered armor, brandishing a sword black as the abyss. He strides forward, each footstep shaking the ground as if the earth itself mourns. Fear claws at me, but I channel ancestral fury. I concentrate the reliquary's light in my palm and surge forward like thunder. The lesser creatures scatter at my roar, but the knight stands firm, an immovable statue come to life. A chill radiates from him, and his blade pulses in time with my heartbeat. Tension erupts in sparks as our strikes meet, black steel against a blazing wrist. I feel the blow reverberate in my bones, and Talia's chant resonates through the corridors of the world. For a moment, I glimpse Valerian power, and a flicker of triumph floods me. But the knight lifts his sword in a rhythmic arc and pierces the reliquary's defenses, tarnishing its light with darkness. I respond by fueling the reliquary with my vow to protect Ravenshade, and its inner light detonates in concentric waves that shake the clearing. The fissure quivers and convulses before snapping shut with a dry crack, drawing the shadows back into nothingness. But the knight does not vanish. He remains standing, armor cracked, staring at me with empty eyes. Around us, the light flickers like a candle in the wind. Kara staggers. Her hammer clatters to the ground. Darren holds his axe, chest heaving. I, panting, raise the reliquary in triumph, but I realize I have merely saved a temporary barrier. Darkness still engulfs the world, and that spectral knight, impervious to the seal, gestures coldly, beckoning me to the duel that will decide our fate. As the last echo of the crack fades, the knight lifts his trembling sword, its blade dripping silver mist. His smile is an absence, and his voice reverberates in my mind. Welcome, Valerian heir. The reliquary burns in my hand, and I feel my blood blaze with purpose. Kara emits a strangled cry. Darren goes pale yet grips his axe tight. The ground trembles in a final quake, ripping the rune ring apart. A crack opens beneath our feet, exhaling twisted shadows, a harbinger of a fresh horde. My heart drums with urgent resolve. I raise my voice in a hoarse roar. If it's to protect Ravenshade, I will face hell itself. But before I can charge, the knight takes a step forward, and the world plunges into darkness cut by one last glimmer of hope, the unwavering light of blood bound by destiny.
Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps us know which stories you love most and which ones we should prioritize in future productions. Your support is essential for us to keep bringing you the best manhwa content every day. See you in the next episode.